In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that I absolutely love about the 70A Series Landcruiser, or better known as the Troop Carrier. Okay, so first things first on this vehicle that I absolutely love about it, and that is the fact that it's from 1985. So the 70 series came out in 1985. It was after the 40 series. It's quite funny. We also have another Troop Carrier, which is the HJ47 Troop Carrier LC. It's sitting in the shed. The funny thing is that's from 1981, and that is the previous series of Land Cruiser. So that's how long this shape has been around for. So why do I love the fact that it's from 1985? So this is a really, really unique car. There's nothing like it on the market. This sort of like van wagon back on the 70 series platform, which is a really rugged off-road 4-wheel drive platform with a ladder chassis and everything. It's just so unique. This body, it's super old school. I think it looks amazing. I mean, look at it, there's nothing like it. And there's just so many options for it because it's been around for so long. There's so many aftermarket accessories and companies that are doing stuff for them. I mean, just look at our roof conversion, the headspace roof conversion. It's such a cool conversion. It just really expands the kind of touring you can do in a vehicle. You look at Project Overland, the kind of builds they're doing in the back. They're just so cool in that aspect. They've been around for so long. And because they've kept that body from 1985, it just, it just gives you such a unique vehicle and a unique perspective that you just don't get with any other 4-wheel drive these days, in my opinion. All right, next thing I absolutely love about this car, well, I'll show you. I'll pop the hood. And that is the engine that's under the bonnet. Now, this is a 2022 Troop Carrier, so this has the VDJ V8 in it. Went for, from 2007 all the way up until recently when they just axed them. Now, this is probably a controversial one. There's probably a few people shaking their heads at me now. The V8, really, you really like it. It's a controversial engine. It seems to be either people that love it or people that hate it. I think the problem is when people think of a V8, they think of performance cars, you know, V8, big V8s, you know, all your old, you know, Australian muscle cars or American muscle cars, all that kind of thing. It sort of has this performance connotation to it. But the thing about V8s, and especially like, you know, diesel V8s, is they've got great low down lug, great torque. You know, there's a lot of old truck engines that are V8s and diesels. And I think that's what Toyota set out to do with this. It was an understressed engine that had good low down torque. And I mean, these things were for farm vehicles. They were NGOs, they were rugged 4-wheel drives. So they didn't need to be super powerful. And you know, you look at previous Troopies, you know, think about our old one, it has the 2H in it. That thing's an absolute slug, but geez, it just chugs along, and such, you know, low down lug. And moving through to the 1HZs, which again, straight 6 diesel, not much power, not much excitement, but they will just go forever. And I think that's what Toyota kind of did with these, but they also gave us some kind of performance. And if you can keep these things light, I'm talking, you know, like, you know, definitely not as heavy as this thing, which is like 3.8 tons. If you can keep them light, they actually go really, really well. I've got a mate with one of these vehicles, and he travels all over the country in it. He's gone as many, if not more places than what we've been. And he's just kept it really, really light. It's just the V8, it's a pre-DPF. All he's done is a 3-inch exhaust, and that thing goes just as well, if not better than this. And this is tuned, this engine. Which sort of brings me on to my next point, is the tuning options and availability you have with this engine. A basic tune can give you incredible results, which is what we've done with this. You do have to upgrade a few things like the clutch and maybe the exhaust and a few other things, but really just with a quick reflash, you can get 50% more sort of like power and torque across the range. Absolutely no worries, without making the engine unreliable. A lot of people have done some pretty serious Ks with these engines tuned all over the country, and they're still going strong. So yeah, I don't know. And I think also, you know, people say, oh, they're bad on fuel, but look, I actually reckon they're pretty good on fuel, considering It's just that most people driving around with these engines, you know, they're really heavy and they're usually doing, you know, sand driving or something like that, or they're towing, or, you know, they're probably just using a bit too much right foot. If you keep these things light and you just chug along at sensible speeds, these things can do like 10 litres per 100, which is, you know, I think really, really good. I absolutely love it. I love the way it performs. I love the way it performs off-road with the manual, that first gear low, that really chug along Toyota low gear ratio is just so nice to use off-road. It's great for towing, and it's just a really nice, responsive, torquey engine that's just really nice to drive. So that's one thing I love about this series in particular that we have, is its engine. Okay, next thing I absolutely love about our 78 series Land Cruiser is that it is confidence inspiring. What do I mean by that? So when you go out really, really remote, you want a vehicle that you can just absolutely rely on in a few different ways. One for us is the kind of accessories that we've done on this vehicle. It just means that and Holly and I, we're just so confident to be able to go absolutely anywhere in the country by ourselves. We just did a Simpson Desert crossing by ourselves, and never once was I sort of worried about the car letting me down or sort of not having options to sort of get out of situations. You know, a lot has to go wrong with this car before you're sort of really, really stuck. It's got plenty of power. It's got 270 litres of diesel. We've got 90 litres of water. It's twin locked. We've got great low range ratios, big tyres, 2 spares, heaps of fridge and freezer space. So it just means that we can just keep going and going and going. Battery power, you know, battery powers are amazing. Being able to put up the internet, Starlink. And I know that might not be everyone's cup of tea, but for us, it's just another tool that sort of lets us sort of travel further and run our business offline when we're traveling, and even keep in contact with people. And I think in some ways using it as a bit of an emergency option. You know, you're never going to beat an EPIRB, but having the internet and having Starlink available these days, we've used it to get parts, click and collect in the Simpson Desert, my mate has. Another aspect to this sort of confidence inspiring thing I'm talking about is just how many Toyota Land Cruisers 70s there are around Australia. They are indicative of the outback. They are absolutely everywhere, and pretty much no matter where you go, you can always find a Toyota dealership, and you can always find parts for these things. You know, you need bearings, you need starter motor, you need an alternator. Those kind of things are just so readily available. Even things like diffs and diff housing, you know, all the mines, they always have those things all over the place. So I think for getting spare parts and sort of, you know, getting you back on the road quickly, these cars are absolutely fantastic. There's a few newer vehicles coming out now, like your Chinese Utes and even your Yank tanks, your American trucks, and you know, your Isuzu 4x4 trucks, and they're becoming really popular, but I think people need to consider how easy it is to get spares when you're on the road. So to sum up, I just feel like this thing's not going to let me down. I feel I can go anywhere in Australia with it, and I just have options no matter where I go. So yeah, I love it in that sense. So that kind of leads into my next point, and that is just how comfortable this thing is to tour in. The way we've set it up, it is very heavy. So it's one caveat and one thing you have to think about when you're doing this kind of setup in a troopy. But the result is that it is just so nice to do super remote trips in. Canning Stock Route, Simpson Desert, all those really remote outback tracks that usually, you know, you might have to compromise, but I just don't feel like there is any compromises in this. It's got a really comfortable bed. We've got electric hot water, as I said, 90 litres of water underneath, so we can have showers as we're traveling. We've got freezer space, so we can take packed or, you know, cooked meals ready to go that we can just heat up when we get into camp. Being able to pop the roof and stand up inside, that is just so handy. Being able to get changed inside if it's absolutely freezing like it was just our recent trip, we can get in out of the elements. We can cook inside if it's windy. We've got instant shade. We've got this table here at the side that just makes it all so functional to cook on or to cook with. So as a tourer, as a two-person tourer, I genuinely don't think you can beat a troopy. Comment below if you think I'm wrong in that, but there's just nothing better. So one of the last points I'll make about things we really like about the 78 series Land Cruiser is the community. So I don't think there's really many four-wheel drives out there that have the kind of cult following that the Troopies do. And you know, when you're out and about and you see another Troopy, you give them the Shory salute. That's that one there. You might have seen people do it. We've even got the sticker on the back of the car. You know, you've got Troop Carriers of Australia, which is just a really, really big online group. It's a great forum to ask questions and compare setups and talk about ideas with other people. And when you're on the road, you know, you see another Troopy parked up, they'll come up, they'll have a chat to you. I've always found that, yeah, Troopy people in the community just seem really, really cool. And, you know, they've just been around for so long, and you get people coming up that sort of say, oh, geez, we ran around Australia in the 80s in a, you know, a Troopy, or, oh, we've had one since however long, we've had it for 20 years and we've just been all over the country, and they want to tell you stories and things like that. Even Uluru recently, I had someone park up next to me, they were in a Troopy and they were from Canberra, and yeah, we just got chatting about just the whole setup, and we were opening all the doors and showing everyone everything. So, and with that community comes, as I said, all those really cool aftermarket accessories and options to modify these vehicles and just to make them your own in a sense. So yeah, to sum that up, the community is fantastic. The people you meet in the road, other Troopy owners, it's probably one of the best four-wheel drive communities out there. Okay, so if you've got a Troop Carrier yourself, tell us, what do you absolutely love about it? What don't you like about it even? Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to have a chat about it. Yeah, any questions as well, ask away and we'll do our best to answer them. But thanks for watching that one. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.